a very different map compared to the previous pool. This map finally here along with a Siege Machine stacks on stack start, and S.A.D.B.O.I.S, they're on blue side here, so they'll be pretty happy heading into this one.
Yeah, and something that has been happening quite a bit is the priority on the Atlas ban over everything else, which means we've been seeing way more Rasmus appear on Ai.Mi Zap, which is something that the moment mirrored bans began, we saw like a, sub 10% play rate of Rasmus, just because everyone hated playing against them on this map, from the death touch being able to yank someone across into the pit in the middle. So very surprising. Rasmus once again making it through in another series. Taking a look at everything else in the composition, it is Rasmus, Kai, and Zentaro going over to BOIS. VON going to be piloting the Rasmus, something that can be flexed between You Already Lose and VON, but opting to go for it in the midfield. On the other hand, we have Kainu piloting the rune, something that VON has been showing off way more. We saw Cardbox also use it, and plenty of other users who have the skill to pilot that rune. Let's see if Kainu can pull it through all the way. Rune is one of those characters where, yes, Kainu is a phenomenal midfielder, but knowers know if you haven't put your 200 games inting your brains out in solo queue, Rune sometimes doesn't click.
Yeah, but Kainu is one of those characters that is very familiar, or rather the player that's familiar with the character here. Already we're seeing a lot of damage onto Snake, but despite that, fighting through it all, finds a dash punch onto the barrier. Both goals are open here, and Gumi with an explosion of damage. Flip still available, Snake walking up. This power play is going to be huge for Demons RAAAAHH as there's closing in on the net. Kainu playing goalie. Honestly, that's the real Demons RAAAAHH goalie right there.
Yeah, they're strong. One of their strongest assets of Demons RAAAAHH is that Kainu, although always locking in the midfield position, he is a top 5 best goalie in NA, period. And Kainu using that anomaly, teleporting from the goal line over to the midfield, taking the play into his own hands and showing him that, yeah, I can pilot this rune just fine.
Yeah, and in the past year, the Demons RAAAAHH have actually gotten the better of the S.A.D.B.O.I.S overall. It's 4-2 in Demons RAAAAHH's favor series-wise, of course. Historically, it is very, very close to even. Bell's already taking a lot of damage here. Kainu and Gumi managing to defend, but a good strike war by VON on 2. And a late flip does mean that the S.A.D.B.O.I.S have a big advantage here.
Yeah, and Bell's looking really low. Has to pop the elusive, does not have enough for another one, but Snake misses the combo. Bells gets to live another day. The orbs are spawning. Bells will most likely be able to heal up just fine. So a lot of pressure gone, but he was taken out of the map for quite some time, even if it didn't mean he was KO'd. A great turret, the firewall sentry coming out from Gumi on the top side, but the defense immaculable from S.A.D.B.O.I.S, nothing getting through, and it's going to be a matter of time before Bells either gets KO'd. So let's see if S.A.D.B.O.I.S can actually make a point happen on the open net before a KO comes through.
Snake the one having damage turned around on them, though. Looking a bit dangerous for the Juliet here, but dash punching, dumping damage onto You Already Lose in return, and Gumi doesn't press the flip button. It's 1-1 now. A bit of an awkward goal, and the flip wasted anyway.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised. I didn't see a strike come out of Gumi either, so I'm not sure what his intention was there. Late flip, no strike, even though he could not have reached it. But either way, starting off set point number 3 strong with an anomaly to pop a barrier. Going right back over to Snake. Snake trying to find the KO onto VON, isn't able to get it. Bouncing up into the top, Rune doing what he does best, placing that anomaly, the pillar down, and having that creation stay for so long, even without any sort of awakening to boot. Actually, he did not choose to go Siege Machine, instead opting to go for the stacks, which I do like. It is a difficult training for Rune to stack up all the way, but has it fully good to go, and speed is something that you need in the midfield. And you can see how much control Kainu has with these anomalies, with the secondary being able to teleport him back and forth, and then on top of that, paired with the Maxwells that is so strong this set.
Yeah, with those barriers open, now that speed's going to be important, but a clutch Giga Blast and the hook from VON coming out to create a 3v1 power play. Gumi does intercept the first attempt, but so many seconds are left. The second attempt still defended. Cyber Swipe as well, flip available. Gumi has successfully made it out of the 1v3 situation, and now the respawns have come in.
And Gumi popping the clown emo, but no, unable to see it all the way through. They do not get the reverse point. on the spawn there, but a great defense from Gumi. He had no elusive there, so he could not have evaded the Zentaro attack to strike afterwards. So it was more of a bit of a checkmate situation. There's the death touch, down for a couple of seconds while Demons RAAAAHH get to play a little bit more aggressively, not having to worry about it. The pillar comes out, or the banish comes through, but a good defense allows the pillar not to form completely. Snake using that opportunity though, elusive's low, he gets to KO in the middle. Off the pit. One of the things that is very powerful is I talked about the Rasmus earlier, but Julie is another person who has such quick access to KOs thanks to having a second edge of the map to eliminate someone with. And we see that with that pressure, they're already able to break down one barrier and try to get into a bit of, not necessarily a power play, but just in a strong aggressive front with the Ai.Mi firewall sentry packed right behind it.
Creations coming out, the pillar backing up Snake. Good save by Yuri Luz in the back of the net. And Snake still in the midst of absolutely everybody. Flip available for Snake now. The Brawler of Demons RAAAAHH in position. Good barrage though from Yuri Luz, and Vaughn helping out on the defense. There are too many goalies in this game, honestly, as the defense has been impeccable. But Gumi finds a KO. That's a power play for Demons RAAAAHH.
Yeah, get the KO. Both teams, oh my goodness, a great pillar coming out from Kainoob, getting the rebound there, sending it right back, and that's in overtime too. You can see the red core coming. This is one of the things where if we do get Kainoob to get some sort of power, either Monumentalist or power in other ways, such as Heavy Impact, 1-2 Punch, or especially the Hot Shot, to make that core go as red as possible, it becomes so much harder to defend because the speed of the core is just too much, and you have a ranged strike essentially with that primary. And we're seeing the pillars come through, blocking the exit, making it so difficult to clear that shot. Barrier falls. Bell's trying to get it forward, using the slice and dice, is able to actually get it over through the timing mix-up. The ult popped, isn't able to find it through the ultimate, gets strike right through. Both barriers dropped on this side. A KO attempt from Snake fails, but the goal line is right there. Drops the anomaly, and Juliet Snake with a simple strike, no abilities needed. The barrage isn't able to catch it, and that is set one going over to Demons RAAAAHH.
And that was such a good pillar from Kainoob too. Made it so Yuri Luz didn't want to clear into the corner, what would be the usual clear, letting Snake make a play. And looking at this draft, what immediately catches your eye in this really important draft?
So I was going to talk about Among Titans. This is one of the things where, although Perfect Form seems to pop out so much, Among Titans is a key awakening on Rune. This was a long time ago, but before Among Titans was even pulled out of the pool, I rated this as an S tier, like top 5 best awakenings for Rune. And the reason being is that the thing that Rune struggles with the most is speed. He does not have a way to shove the core through people, so he cannot have that midfield interaction. He doesn't have an Estelle primary. He doesn't have a Jakar shotgun. So without that, what he needs is a bunch of speed so that he can catch rebounds with his anomaly and set himself up. And that is exactly what Kainoob wants. Losing that size does not matter when you can give your team even more size and then give yourself speed. So one of the biggest things, I know I went through this whole narrative on just Among Us, but it's something to keep out. Watch the Rune take over the game.
Yeah, with the stacks on stacks as well, the speed's going to get quite ridiculous for Kainoob, of course. Has to stay alive, has to be very wary, but is a slightly harder target to hit with all of that speed. Lesser size, of course, a smaller factor. Snake now pushing forward, but it's still an open net on the side of Demons RAAAAHH. Snake, though, with the combo, that's a power play now. And Gumi still has split for insurance. Snake has split building up. They open up the nets, and Demons RAAAAHH are still pushing forward.
Oh, goes for the strike, gets the placement, but a flip caught by Snake on the dash punch. It was actually a strike that caught it. He didn't even need that dash to follow up there. What a great reaction from Snake, or prediction on that. One of these things is that the KOs that are coming out here, we can see Bell's got KO'd back down to 0 stacks. Each of these KOs is so important because of the amount of movement speed lost. Vaughn getting the kill. Only one to take Siege Machine, by the way. No other person took it, so he is the slowest person on here, but he's equalizing that speed with all the KOs and the pressure he's putting on with the Death Touch on this midfield Rasmus.
Vaughn now still patrolling the midfield, like you're saying. Bell is looking for a crossfire. Good behind the barrier. Clear. Yuri Luz almost gets taken out on the edge, and Bell's as well. With the S.A.D.B.O.I.S surviving, their barrier still stands. Snake, though, trying to change that with all of the speed available. Kainoob also in a commanding spot for the offense. So much chip damage as the offense continues for Demons RAAAAHH, but the S.A.D.B.O.I.S hold strong.
S.A.D.B.O.I.S holding strong indeed. We can see the amount of speed coming through. Snake just patrolling down with the peak performance and the stacks fully built up. Looking for a little bit of damage. Isn't able to catch Vaughn, but oh my goodness, the death touch into the flip, almost catching it. One of the things Rasmus can do so well. If he had a little bit more power on that death touch, it definitely would have KO'd. Snake looking extremely low. Most likely will cost his life for that, but a banish too late, not able to save him. And now it's just time to stall out while, oh my goodness, manages to get the barrier in all that. Everyone just patiently waiting, and a simple strike is what it takes for Kainu to get that barrier. Gumi goes for the glitch pop setup with the flip, but isn't able to get it. But oh my goodness, what a clean play from him. I was so surprised that he went for that. And it looks so good. Going in with the dash flurry, not the dash punch. Snake unable to finish it through, but Demons RAAAAHH are putting on a performance. Barriers wide open. Our need side firewall sentry drops through. B.O.I.S looking for this play here. No primary available to do a little bit of a blick tech, and it is going back and forth. Who knows who's going to get this point?
And Gumi in a wide open net is in a lot of danger, though. Does not have as much reach with the Ai.Mi as before this patch. Does have more damage. B.O.I.S with the flick. With a core stop, not quite enough here. You're going to lose with a flip built up. We'll have a better time defending here. As B.O.I.S another opportunity. Kainu sends it away. Kainu with a flip takes it himself from the mid line. A great rune warp, a great self pass, and 2-0 up. And the set up are Demons RAAAAHH.
The teleport into the midfield to catch his own pass that he set up from himself. It looking a little bit like Barack Obama putting the medal around his neck as Kainu made that play. Gets the point. 2-0 lead for Demons RAAAAHH. They're coming off with such a strong start. Take a look at YuLoS's elusive meter here. Absolutely no energy available. If Demons RAAAAHH want to focus down, they can, but unfortunately Gumi not able to make it back in time fast enough on the eject button to save his barrier. But honestly, they just don't care. They have the better offensive pressure at the moment. They're able to set up. YuLoS has the eject button, but has to take his time to get across the entire map, while Gumi, who has the aerials, can cross the entire field in an instant, set up that firewall sentry. And this is a nerfed Ai.Mi, but it really does not matter when you get a dash awakening at this point.
Yeah, a good flip by Gumi to prevent any nonsense from B.O.I.S. Pushing forward now, firewall sentry available, pass up to Kainu. Bonnie already lose, falling back onto defense, but Snake pushes forward as well. Demons RAAAAHH looking for one small opening here with the pillar, really just creating terrain, trying to limit S.A.D.B.O.I.S options as Gumi blinks in, has the reach like you said now. And Snake to the top side. YuLoS does get there in time though, and the S.A.D.B.O.I.S once again stay alive.
I was surprised. I thought that point was going in for sure there, but the amount of movement speed means that people like YuLoS can catch up to it when normally they could not. Oh my goodness, I don't even know how that play happened. A strike from YuLoS back into the anomaly that Kainu set up in overtime, sends it straight back into the net, and then I believe it was Snake who redirected it once it got past him.
2-0 up now are Demons RAAAAHH, and looking at this draft, I mean, there are...
Hotshot must be denied, Saya. Yeah. I'm telling you right now, Hotshot makes its way over to Kainu, and it is a wrap.
There are so many good awakenings, and Hotshot is not denied. Kainu can go for it, goes for Sacrifice, gives Hotshot over to Gumi instead. Interesting.
Not opting in for the Hotshot, going in for even more movement speed. I think this is more of a speed denial and HP denial from S.A.D.B.O.I.S because we've been seeing the KOs come out. There is a lot of stagger damage coming through, not only just knockback KOs. So the higher priority went over to Stagger Swagger to prevent both B.O.I.S and Vaughn from picking up some sort of defensive training. And because of all the removed defensive trainings that have come through from this most recent patch, we can see Peak Performance and Stagger Swagger, one of the two of, I believe, the only defensive trainings alongside Resilience, are on the side of Demons RAAAAHH. And now that means that we can just opt in for as much damage as we want, and there's no way for S.A.D.B.O.I.S to avoid that damage through Awakenings now.
Yeah, that is absolutely huge here. Whoa, Gumi with the fade away. Blinks back, but the glitch pop's still out there, and that's a barrier take for Demons RAAAAHH. Now pushing forward with plenty of meter on the board. B.O.I.S on the other hand. B.O.I.S and Vaughn have been forced to use their meter so much so far in this first point. Huge advantage for Demons RAAAAHH as they still maintain the barrier.
Yeah, just barely losing it there. Firewall Sentry. Unfortunately, the secondary that Kainu placed left Gumi alone to defend against two people. But look at the damage coming through. Snake patiently waiting, finds the timing between the strikes, and actually just manages to finds the strike timing through Vaughn, and then YuLoS was a little bit too low to catch that core in that positioning there. And a great shot from Snake in general. So now going on to the next point here, we can see the anomaly drop, trying to go for the KO, the cyber swipe into the primary glitch pop combo from Gumi, unable to catch B.O.I.S through the elusive, but a barrier dropped super quick here, and Gumi has the flip. He's most likely trying to save it for the next cyber swipe flip play. Unable to get it though. Oh my goodness. I turned my head for a second and that point was taken.
Yeah, unable to get it, but in the end, it still does manage to be found. And Demons RAAAAHH, bit of a quick game so far. They've managed to bring us to match point here on this first Ai.Mi's app game. And they have looked dominant. They have looked like they know exactly what the game plan is for taking down these barriers quickly. Double banish, not quite getting the barriers, but look at that chip damage.
But chip damage is insane. If Gumi can, you can see the way Gumi's walking up. He's blocking the top side while simultaneously trying to put himself in a position where he can jump in and get a KO if needed. It risks their own barrier falling if something gets through with a quick core, but that's the play style of Demons RAAAAHH. They're willing to sacrifice their backline if it means increasing the odds of just scoring the point then and there. They don't play a defensive style. The double flip comes through, the punch comes through, and there it is. Firewall Sentry, double flip into the top corner, and that's a 3-set game. 3-0 in sets. One of the quickest games of, honestly, I'd be surprised if this wasn't one of the quickest games of this entire league so far.
Yeah, that was really fast. That was 15 minutes, 27 seconds. Probably not the quickest game of the league, but when it comes to quick games, this is definitely one of them. The S.A.D.B.O.I.S in the individual
It's not a Showtime
points.
game. I'll just say that.
Okay, it's not a Showtime game, but and Demons RAAAAHH, they look so comfortable on this map. Of course, it was their pick after all, and S.A.D.B.O.I.S are going to take us to Taiko Temple right afterwards, but that was such a convincing performance.
Yeah, and I know S.A.D.B.O.I.S did end up picking Taiko Temple because they're the team that can at least bring out things like the Atlas do move forward and pilot it well. We've seen other people bring it out in response to them and try to copy their playstyle, but these are the original creators of it. If they end up going down that route, it's definitely going to depend on the Awakening start, but they are so comfortable on Taiko Temple. I know Vaughn is going to also prioritize Rune as a top pick here. We might see Rune get banned away, but Atlas is such a strong priority pick that if you are on blue side, Atlas tends to be one of those things where if you want to play and have a normal time, especially if you're Demons RAAAAHH, you don't want Atlas to appear. You're so good at dealing damage, you just want to either take the Atlas or ban the Atlas, or just remove it completely and have everyone on that same playing field. So let's see if the game plan changes much going into Taiko Temple. In terms of execution, there was so much pressure coming out from Demons RAAAAHH. We saw the KOs come through over and over again. And actually, I'm taking a look at the KOs. It's not that many KOs. A total of 4 KOs per team. It felt like way more, but I think it was just the damage and the pressure that took players like Vaughn, Relose, and Bells out of rotation on that map, right? They got hit so heavy, and even though they weren't KO'd, they had to sit on the sidelines while the rest of the team got to play for, 5 to 10 seconds while their stagger rebuilt.
Yeah, on Taiko Temple, what do you think the draft will look like generally? Because it is no Ai.Mi's app, of course. There's some similarities in terms of how the lanes pan out, but also a lot of differences, especially on the defense.
Yeah, so taking a look at the draft, like I said, this is one of those maps that heavily change depending on what awakening starts we get. If we get creation awakenings, we're going to see the Ai.Mi Atlas, Rune, Dubu way more frequently than if we don't get creation awakenings. But I'm going to say priority picks here are going to be Atlas for blue side. If just in general, Atlas for blue side is going to be a big pickup. Atlas is one of the strongest goalies right now, if not the strongest, in terms of like player consensus here. Defensive goalies have not been nerfed, right? Even though damage has gone up, which makes Atlas that much better thanks to his ultimate ability being able to save and heal his allies, and at the same time that expanse on the secondary is so powerful and denies so much space and so much stuffing potential. And on a map like Taiko Temple is very similar to other maps that want a defensive goalie. It is similar to Oni's Village in the sense where you want to really lock down this corner space. And if you have a anti-stuff goalie like Mako, like Dubu, like Atlas, like Asher, they perform better. It's also going to be stylistic because I know Demons RAAAAHH doesn't tend to play it as much, although we know Gumi can play the Atlas and the Mako at an extremely high level. Their preference is to not play those. I would say in the midfield, expect things like the Rune to be a contested pick. Ai.Mi, whether it goes over to Vaughn or Kainoob, is also going to be a contested pick. And then in general, Kai tend to just be a personal comfort pick for the midfielders. Brawlers, everyone's pretty good right now, I would say. It's not typically too bad to pick up anyone in particular. I would say Asher is one of the strongest brawlers on this map. I'm taking a look at the draft right now. We see the 2 starting awakenings. We have Siege Machine and Pancake stacks on stacks back again, which means most likely no one's going to be going stacks on, or no one's going to be going Siege Machine. All 6 players, maybe the goalies go for Siege Machine. But if you are playing a game and you are one of the 4 forwards who does not take speed, the game gets blown out very quickly. We can also see, because of a stack start, Octavia comes through, although this is not her best map. But I will say that that is something that can be left on the table. We know Octavia's win rate in NASL is extremely high. And at the same time, now hasn't been talked about as much. But now it's just a comfort fit for mostly, I would say, Kai-Noob. And that is something that he pilots well. So let's see if these things go through. I personally think that Demons RAAAAHH will go to... is Demons RAAAAHH on blue side this time, Saya?
Yes, they are on blue side, and draft is being remade because the same awakenings have been generated. We suspect it might be a little bit of a bug. I don't know.
But, oh, yeah, that was the same awakenings as...
Oh, this is a bit of a chilling start though on this new awakening pair.
Oh, what do we get to see? The timeless egoist. Okay, so things like this: Zentaro a higher pick, X a higher priority pick because of the catalyst. These two brawlers can take catalyst and generate so much. Same thing with Asher, although neither brawler likes to play Asher. When you lock in Asher, it's like, fine, I'll play Asher, right? It's never like, ooh, let me pick Asher here. Just one of those things and stigmas around the character. Besides that, the timeless creator means Ai.Mi midfield is extremely strong. Ai.Mi goalie is still strong, but slightly more weaker on this map because of the lack of ability to defend as much. Atlas is going to be such a high priority pick, and we can see it banned away. Atlas taken off the pool. Demons RAAAAHH does not want to pick it. They don't want to ban it, and they first pick the Ai.Mi. It can be flexed between either Gumi or Kai-Noob. To counter this, I think we're going to see a Zentaro, and maybe if it's not Zentaro, it might be Dubu, and it could be an Asher goalie, right? So I'm expecting 2 of those 3 to get picked up for S.A.D.B.O.I.S. And then the rune locked in for the midfield, put it in. Vaughn is going to be taking it this time. Kainu will not be allowed to play it, and yeah, at this point, I don't know who else is going to be picked up. I think Zentaro is still really strong. And like I said, Dubu can be either in the goalie or over to Bells. Something that we can see easily. I don't think Kai is going to be taken at this point. It's not that strong. Okay, there's Dubu locked in. And now going back over to Demons RAAAAHH. I'm not sure what we're going to take here. If Gumi ends up picking the... Oh my goodness. Mako... Asher picked up. Gumi will be piloting the Mako. Asher going to be going over to Snake, and then Kai-Noob is on the Ai.Mi. The last person left to pick is going to be either the goalie or the brawler, not sure. But there is Julia, not opting in for Zentaro, going for the Julia instead. Someone who also does generate catalyst fast and can receive catalyst stacks fast. I'm actually surprised at this. I think this is more of a comfort pick. I would personally say that Juliet is not one of the strongest brawlers on this map, but at the same time, when paired with Rune, who can go for the banish, does not need to set up both pillars. Just having a banish in a single pillar, Juliet can follow up with the dash punch and get the KO. So be on the lookout for that. Overall, this is like a relatively standard draft for these awakenings. I expect all the creation people to go timeless, and everyone else is going to lock in that catalyst here.
Wow.
So this is going to be a riveting game.
You went a little crazy on the draft breakdown. It was a little...
Happy to explain.
Yeah, I picked up quite a bit of knowledge there. This is going to be an interesting one. Like you said, the Rune. That's such a scary pick on the creation start and on Taiko Temple. Those lanes are really going to be covered. Demons RAAAAHH, on the other hand, are picking a pretty normal comp by all means, you know, like,
yeah,
you see the S.A.D.B.O.I.S comp and think, oh wow, this is like current Omega Strikers. This is like the stuff that people are talking about right now. Demons RAAAAHH, they're speaking the same mold. This would not look out of place months ago.
100%. And the things we want to be on the lookout for is after this first draft, the super strong awakenings that can definitely tilt the game one way or the other is going to be the hot shot going over to Rune, the Happy Star, or I don't even know its original name, Extra Special, going to the Ai.Mi specifically, or the Dubu. Dubu with Extra Special is really, really powerful. It means that on kickoff, you can always lock down one lane, especially if the Dubu can follow up on kickoff. If you have a winning midfield kickoff, you can see You Already Lose go forward and lock in lock-in and ultimate, especially if you're taking Timeless Creator and then paired with a range awakening such as missile prop, siege machine, or even aerials. Although aerials is the worst of the three because of the fact that Dubu Summer Assault is not the best coded ability in the game.
Yeah, a lot of accidents can happen with that one, so we're probably not going to see that in particular, but like you said, the Dubu, the potential to really lock it down here as we head into the in-game character select will be in-game shortly, and we'll see if you're 100% correct on those awakening predictions. These are two of the most game-warping awakenings in the game, of course.
Yeah,
Timeless stuck on creation characters, but Catalyst not
and
quite.
One of the interesting things about these awakening starts is if Rune and Ai.Mi go for Timeless, the other people playing the game can generate energy very quickly. Because of all the nerfs that have happened to Firewall Sentry, tanking a Firewall Sentry is not the end of the world. And you can just stand in it and just generate Catalyst charge or gain energy. So taking a look, we have the creation people went if you want to count Asher as a creation user, she did not go the Timeless Creator, although the airship build is pretty funny, so I will say that. Starting off strong, moving the ball forward, Snake goes for that primary into secondary combo, isn't able to find it. Bells with the punch, gets the top barrier, kind of going right back, but the anomaly gets it behind him, sends it right around. Gumi already dropping barriers. Banish comes through, big Banish, but in the goal box, the Banish has a less duration, paired with a cast last or something along those lines, and make that Banish last a really long time. And Bells already low. We might see the first KO come out quick, but Bells not KO'd, has to use the elusive, is low, sitting around, but a strike shot bounce off the middle takes him off the map, and let's see if Demons RAAAAHH can get their first barrier.
Oh, this ended right through the Tofu Fortress.
Poor Dubu.
I saw that happen once before, 3Z Breezy, in that GIF. If there's two pillars of that Tofu Fortress too close together and it hits the gap between them, it'll bounce rapidly and slip right through. And that is such a rare
particle
occurrence.
Accelerator.
Yeah, they patched most of those situations out, but that was the rare case where it's back. Of course, still a barrier up. The S.A.D.B.O.I.S still in the lead here, but that's a lot of energy on the side of Demons RAAAAHH.
Yeah, and taking a look, we have two energy bursts, two flips available. Yularilus has to pop one. Snake looking awfully low. You can see Bells walking in, and there's the KO. Finds the dash punch onto Snake, taken out for another 10 seconds. Bells walking up, has no abilities though, might have the ultimate, and now that he's level 2. But we have the double flips here, so it's looking like a pretty defensive play overall. Not having to use anyone, just the Mako ultimate manages to get it all the way through. Snake coming back, goes for the entire set of abilities on Asher there. Absolutely takes out the health bar of Vaughn. Has to teleport all the way back, use that secondary to set up a play. And Vaughn still low, staggered, might have to blow the energy burst just to live, and bounced all around the world. Uses the energy burst to gain all that stagger onto Snake, and then you already lose, KOs him with a Tofu Fortress.
Very clean play from the S.A.D.B.O.I.S. They still have a barrier up, but a missed strike from Yularilus comes back to bite them. Flip available. Kainoob, great pillar from Vaughn to save it away, but there's a close range cyber swipe from Kainoob to close out the point. Demons RAAAAHH, especially Gumi, defending really well on that point.
Yeah, and Kainoob is, although does not play it as often because he can play so many characters so well, Kainoob is one of, if not the best, Ai.Mi player in this entire game. We don't get to see him play it as much. If you see him in solo queue, he'll play it all the time in the goalie position. And that is something that he will be the playmaker a lot of the times. Ai.Mi is one of those characters where when playing in the midfield, it's not that Ai.Mi offers core control. Ai.Mi offers a lot of pressure through the Firewall Sentry. Oh my god, a great punch from Bells. Manages to get that barrier. Double barrier already dropped. Only one barrier left from you already lose. But this Ai.Mi character with this Firewall Sentry just provides so much pressure because of that instant dash on the Cyber Swipe, the KO potential with the Cyber Swipe Glitch Pop combo, and then the Firewall Sentry, which is so annoying to deal with, especially with Timeless Creator.
Yeah, barriers open just like last point. Oh, but a clutch KO. Yeah, with the glitch pop, that means all of that meter is gone. The player is gone, and now the Demons RAAAAHH offense roars into action, but Kainoob, not quite the bounce that he wanted, and this time the Tofu Fortress helps instead of hurts. You already lose though. The flip doesn't get out of there, but the damage output is there for the S.A.D.B.O.I.S as they create a power play of their own.
Yeah, and one of the things when you take a look at how much damage we have on S.A.D.B.O.I.S side, you would see, oh, Rune and Dubu, not that big damage dealers. And typically when you see Rune play, at the end of the day, when the stats are shown, he has some of the lowest. Oh my goodness, gets it right through The drum and bass not able to catch it when he let go of it, thinking that it would send the core up. But a good shot from B.O.I.S gets it all the way through. But yeah, going back to what I was saying with Rune, he ends up having some of the lowest damage in the entire game. If you were to just say like who deals the lowest damage of the game, it would most likely be Rune. But he does some of the most targeted and impactful damage. If Rune is putting damage on someone, it means they're going for that kill almost every single time. Yeah. And take a look at Snake, pretty much taken out, is just sitting around there, has to regenerate his health. And it's going to be a matter of time before either you already lose KOs him or B.O.I.S comes back and tries to finish off the job.
Oh, B.O.I.S and Vaughn on some offense, forcing out a flip. B.O.I.S tries to steal it, but Gumi has a strike afterwards. The flip to try and KO from Vaughn is evaded away by Snake, who is regenning just enough to get unstaggered on the bottom side of the map. Kainoob and Gumi trying to get it off their half, but these pillars are making it so difficult. Finally, Kainoob sends it away, and you already lose, trying to send it away from the corner. B.O.I.S now with a good route on the top side with the dash, and the S.A.D.B.O.I.S open up the net once again.
S.A.D.B.O.I.S with a wide open net here, or S.A.D.B.O.I.S having to face a wide open net, manages to get it. The anomaly comes through, a great spot in the corner, goes all the way around the drum and bass, sends it backwards. It's just one of those Mako moments. If you played Mako, you've had that core go past you once or twice, but I'm surprised it went past with that slow of a speed. It was not a red core. And now that is a lead for S.A.D.B.O.I.S. They're playing on their preferred map here on Taiko Temple. They know what they're doing here. They have the playstyle down pat. And Vaughn looking at half stagger here. No one's going to be following up on that damage. We're dropping the anomalies to help keep the pressure up. And you already lose. You can see the way the rotation happens. Vaughn is low, which means he's going to hang back. You already lose has abilities. They're going to rotate around. They're going to put out the logs. They're going to put out the Tofu Fortresses and try to cycle the abilities as much as possible so they have as much uptime and possession on the enemy half. B.O.I.S so low here. Doesn't pop the energy burst. Doesn't need to pop the energy burst. Gets the health orb, gets back safe and sound, and one barrier drops so far on S.A.D.B.O.I.S' side. Both barriers actually falling now.
That's tough. B.O.I.S almost taken out by Snake there to dash. Well placed. Not quite enough knockback. Good flip away from Yurdi Lose. And B.O.I.S to the other side. Gumi strike shot. Not quite enough to save that one. B.O.I.S so low, but still has the flip available. Big offensive opportunity to get it over, but the goalie goes down. S.A.D.B.O.I.S a little bit too big for his own good at the moment. And you already lose off the field now. Of course, the defense is possible, but it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, you already lose getting KO'd because of the size of S.A.D.B.O.I there in the gold net. B.O.I.S sent around the world, might actually be in position to follow up, but no, gets taken out from the strike shot. Actually, just an energy burst from Gumi, and around the world it goes, sent right back over to Kainoob from the flip from Snake and getting into that bottom pocket. That's a 2-2 so far, both points going over to Kainoob. Tied in set 1 here. Energy economy is looking even across the board. We'll see how fast the catalyst set up and how fast these points fall, or the barriers fall. One barrier already dropped. Snake trying to go for the second one, isn't able to get it. Looking for the pass on the Kainoob, doesn't find it. The cyber swipe glitch pops. B.O.I.S managing to live with an elusive, doesn't have enough for another one. We can see that he's stuck in that position, has to kind of bait out or eject out of that so he can get some health back, because you know if he stayed there he was going to get blown up by 3 Demons RAAAAHH members just using abilities on top of him and the core. And a good defense manages to get it out, but that's a lot of abilities out of Demons RAAAAHH now.
Triple banish, unfortunately, not getting too much value there. B.O.I.S pushing forward, still has the flip almost available. Snake as well. Flame Flurry, but B.O.I.S steals it, has the punch afterwards to confirm the barrier. And now the S.A.D.B.O.I.S with a chance to close out this set to take their first set of the series. It's not going to be easy though, but Kainoob's almost dead.
Kainoob has to walk back. He's going to take that bottom health orb, try to participate a little bit more, but he has no energy. So if he gets hit by a single skill, he'll be taken out. And there's the banish trying to set up a play, but no, not close enough. Snake with a great slow onto B.O.I.S means that Kainoob gets to live another day, but you can see the energy economy, right? Having no catalyst means that it's so much harder for you to build up your elusive or your energy when you aren't able to participate in this fight. And Kainoob, you can see, is just completely taken out. Vaughn looking for a play here, trying to either KO him with an anomaly or a eject if he can, or sorry, energy burst. Isn't able to find either one. An energy burst blown, and now they still have priority over Demons RAAAAHH, but a lot of the energy economy is taken out.
Yeah, the offense continues, but like you said, those flips not available for the forwards for a while longer. Great banish though onto Kainoob, out of commission for a moment, but still setting up that firewall sentry. So much pressure cleared away though by the S.A.D.B.O.I.S successfully. The core routed to the top side, doesn't get the glitchy bounce on the drum, thankfully. As Demons RAAAAHH now trying to advance, but that flips a little too close to the wall. Almost gets it done, Snake, but not quite. As B.O.I.S once again just monitoring that top side, looking for any dash punch opening.
Oh, but a great pass from the secondary on Snake. Gets it down to Kainoob, unable to find it. This is going to be one of those things where you kind of just really need your creations up if you want to score, whether that means Snake doing Asher things and putting in that ultimate ability, sending in the airship to get a secure, or the Firewall Sentry coming out. And there it is. The pressure from the Firewall Sentry manages to split the C and get the barrier, opening things up. Snake trying to find himself in a spot where he can follow up on Kainoob's pass. A great primary from Gumi, manages to send it forward. The ultimate sent out. Ensnaring Drums manages to catch the energy burst from Bells, bounce all around the world, but he gets to live. Trying to go for the KO, using those abilities, in the enhanced strike from Mako sends Bells off the middle once again. And one of those things where if you're low, you can't actually hang out in the middle because you just get taken out from a bounce there, whether it's through strike shot or an ability. And now it's going to be double goalie action as you already lose, and Vaughn try to hold as much as they can.
Valiant effort. They managed to get through the Firewall Sentry. A weird bounce, dangerous. Bells almost had possession of that for a moment. Gumi with the clear to the top side. Kainoob, that flip's going to be monumental to how this point ends, but it's too much in the corner, but it's enough.
Oh my God, what a
gets
strike.
Snake in time. Snake gets the perfect strike.
That was like, he used his toenail there to strike that. That was so far off his hitbox. I'm surprised he managed to get it, but a perfect strike indeed. Puts it in. Demons RAAAAHH have the advantage going in, and there it is. The extra special going on to Timeless creator Ai.Mi. One of the things that I talked about in the pre-draft phase, where if you manage to get this combination, it is so oppressive. Every single kickoff can just be cyber swipe onto the core, strike, glitch pop, get it forward, however you want to do it, and then just slam Firewall Sentry. It also means 30% cooldown every single time, and this is a cooldown that matters significantly. Every time it's coming up, you're trying to set up a play, whether it's defensively or offensively. This thing is popping. This is so hard to defend against. And now Demons RAAAAHH have that combination. I didn't even look at anything else getting picked up.
Yeah, speaking of cooldowns too, of course, you already lose, denying away Twin Drive. Such a great awakening on the Mako. But Gumi still getting the heavy impact. Not what it used to be. Not the crazy secondary reducer it used to be, but still quite good in just cutting the cooldown of that crucial ability that shapes how the offense is played, how fast Snake can move across the field. But right now it's all in the Tofu Fortress. The barrier still stands. The barrier finally went down, but Demons RAAAAHH almost held past the Timeless Pillar and the Tofu Fortress.
Yeah, and that's the situation where I said if you already lose, manage to get the extra special, imagine that on every single kickoff. Instead, it's going to be a Firewall Sentry. Oh my God, a triple banish, and then this strike onto Bells from the glitch pop almost sends him off, trading things away. Kainoob, I don't know if he's actually staggered, if that's stagger bug. I think he actually is staggered, has the energy available, tries to go for the glitch pop, KO onto you already lose, isn't able to find it. Gumi walks up, gets the energy boost, flips him off the map. Bells is taken out, and then the 3v2 power play sends it into the bottom part of the net.
Demons RAAAAHH, I think that awakening draft's exactly what they needed. It was close in the first set, but now they're playing confidently and, like you said, are going to be so dominant on the kickoff.
And now every single time, depending on what awakenings or what skills Kainoob has available, can go for that Firewall Sentry, which usually means they did a good job defending it here. It wasn't the strongest push, but usually means you can get at least one barrier off kickoff every single time. But Vaughn having some really good banishes to at least ease the pressure, but no, Dubu not able to Summer Assault fast enough. Over to the end, Snake looking for the pass onto Kainoob, isn't able to get it with the energy burst. Kainoob goes for the flip, might go for the back pass off the wall, doesn't go for it, tries to go for the top pocket, isn't able to find it. A great anomaly, gets one. Gumi doesn't even look at his own net or goal line, whatever's happening there. He goes for the KO, he does a little bit of showing off there for his troubles. Bell's taken off for another 5 seconds, not having the best time of his life here. A lot of pressure coming on to him. And goal gate's just open, trying to set off the play or off the anomalies of Vaughn. Snake goes for the pass up there. Going forward, uses the primary, isn't able to get it. Primary from You Already Lose comes out, and now we're going for a back and forth play. Firewall Sentry, here's the 30% cooldown, but a great banish from Vaughn. Abilities comes out, creations come through, and we managed to get the defense.
Vaughn now pushing forward, looking for this barrier, but it gets deflected away by 2 members of Demons RAAAAHH. Now Vaughn's in trouble in the stagger department. Does have that stagger swagger, I believe, but the core speed's picking up now. Gumi rocketing it across the field and flips it away from Bells. But that pillar is really valuable from Vaughn. Keeps the core in pressure. The S.A.D.B.O.I.S sending it forward still, and they have a chance here.
Yeah, barriers opened up. Vaughn has been doing such a great job of catching these rebounds with the pillars. And there it is. That's the second time it's happened. Mako core going at it was actually going at red speed, but when it hit off the corner, it was a surprise. It was one of those things where you couldn't tell if it was going to go through or not. Gumi had to walk up a little bit more, but when you're holding down that drum and bass, you have a movement speed hindrance on Mako. So wasn't able to get there fast enough. Trying to go for the double barrier, goes for the flip, gets a little bit, but the firewall sentry manages to get a good pass down to the bottom there into the firewall sentry. Cyber Swipe comes out, but already banished, isn't able to follow through. If it did, Vaughn would have been obliterated into the goal line. But Bells, what a great dash punch strike follow up. Doesn't even need the energy burst. Finds the KO, or sorry, doesn't find the KO. Finds the shot onto the net.
The S.A.D.B.O.I.S are getting it done so far. They have a meter to work with, of course, even after that goal. So it's not a huge energy deficit that could swing in the way of Demons RAAAAHH. But once again, they have to watch the kickoff, and they do quite well. They force the defensive firewall sentry this time. And that means Bells and Vaughn have plenty of time to move on the offense. Bells surviving, getting a barrier, looking for 2 here.
Tries to go for the back pass onto You Already Lose, and there you see the synergy of, oh my goodness, so much energy and EXP generated for Vaughn. If you had the catalyst, that'd be full energy already. But regardless, you could see the synergy coming through from S.A.D.B.O.I.S. A brawler passing back to the midfield line on the other side of his map for his goalie Dubu to walk up and try to make a play. Yes, it didn't get the barrier, but those are the type of plays that make it so you can get barriers in this situation. Otherwise, Demons RAAAAHH would hold down forever.
They're still holding on, though. The barrier's still alive on both sides. You already lose in a bit of trouble, but it routes to Bells, and there's a pillar at his back. Barely missing the barrier is the core. Now the Tofu Fortress, a bit of an obstacle. But Vaughn finds a crucial banish, makes it a 1v3 for a moment. Just enough time to set up a perfect pillar, and Bells to find attempts on the goal. Surviving as well is Bells, brought low but not taken out. And the S.A.D.B.O.I.S, all it takes is one more shot, but the firewall sentry stuffs out the flip, and it's one more shot for Demons as well.
But it goes back. That's the 3rd time this game where it has slid through the drum and bass, not able to catch it fast enough, and a good shot from Vaughn. The rune is popping off. We can see the speed. The thing that rune wants is speed and hot shot. So let's see if he manages to get it. He might have to go for a deny here, just taking a look at what we have. Perusing through, but no option for the hot shot. It takes his BIS here. Doesn't need to really take anything else. We take peak performance here on the Ai.Mi midfield. Again, you don't need things like Siege Machine and other stuff. A lot of the time, the things that make the difference is if your character can move faster than their character. This allows you to mitigate mistakes or make your mistakes less impactful, because you can just go walk back and catch the core again, or you can reposition yourself faster. Speed is such an important stat in Omega Strikers, if not the most important stat. So seeing that kind of goes for the peak performance means that he'll have more control in the midfield. But overall, this is a great set of pickups for S.A.D.B.O.I.S. You can see the missile prop on You Already Lose, a great training to go pair with that Timeless Creator.
Yeah, the missile prop Dubu might be changing how this game is played, because before You Already Lose had to walk all the way up to find pressure with the Tofu Fortress, but now can do it from mid-screen, and the defense can also extend to mid-screen even as the bounces come in. Bells and Vaughn set up, the core goes to the top side, and it is not quite found the final barrier, but Snake can't quite keep possession either. Bells pushing forward, but a great save by Gumi, but such a tough space to clear it out of. Demons RAAAAHH get it done, but like you said, the targeted damage onto Gumi is getting quite scary right now.
Yeah, and now having access to no elusive, Vaughn is just hovering through. One of the hardest, manages to find the KO with the help of, I'm not sure if that was, oh no, that was Vaughn using the secondary there, able to get it with that pillar, locking down some of the space with that first pillar from Gumi, limiting his mobility there. But if you've played Rune, trying to finish someone with a primary is one of the hardest things on Rune. It's just like you have to click the mouse on top of their body, but doing that is, I don't know what it is that's so difficult about it. It just is difficult. But Vaughn did manage to get that KO. Gumi is back. We can see a lot of damage come through. That's the specialized training on Bells from the flurry that it did so much. Managed to take out half of Kai'Noob's health, even though he has a peak performance. And even then can manage to regenerate right back up. And a good bounce around the anomaly, working in the favor of Snake, but no, a great defense from You Already Lose manages to keep things out of there. And Vaughn, looking low, might have to blow the energy burst. One of the downsides to having max energy is that you have to expend it to live if you want to, but it does not matter. Barriers being traded back and forth, evened up, but it is S.A.D.B.O.I.S who have 2 flips over, 1 on Gumi. They pop 1, send it over to Bells, isn't able to catch it. Kainoob intercepting it halfway through. The glitch pop comes through, tries to catch it, just bounces barely over onto the top pocket, and Bells trying to cause Snake to just back off for a little bit. And we're going back and forth with these offensive plays, but they're just slightly failing.
Oh, scary spot for Gumi. Flips it away, but that pillar was perfectly placed by Vaughn. Kai-Noob, though, bounce off the center. Not quite enough. Yuri Luz has enough speed. A perfect pillar from Vaughn to save it away. A strike war win as well to make sure Snake can't get the goal. And now Bells and Vaughn trying to set up a play here. The combos come in, but Bell stays alive, and now one pass could be all it takes. Yuri Luz still managing to defend here. Bell setting himself up, but Kai-Noob's there to defend as well. Kai-Noob trying to set up here, and Yuri Luz forced to linger in the top side. The pillar not quite there from Vaughn. And Demons RAAAAHH, what a hard-fought point. They emerge on top.
Yeah, and a great awareness from Snake. They're getting the pass over from Kai-Noob. Typically, you want to shove that core right back into the Firewall Sentry and play through that, but knew that that hesitation there from S.A.D.B.O.I.S, seeing that, oh, Firewall Sentry is down. Will Snake actually send it back into the Firewall Sentry or go for the other side? That hesitation is what gave him all the time he needed to actually take that immediate shot onto the bottom and give them that first point of the set. Oh my goodness, that's a specialized training getting the KO there. I'm not sure if, yeah, I mean, he just died from the specialized training Juliet ultimate. Not one of the best ultimates in the game, but when you have it paired with Spec, it can KO pretty easily.
Yeah, that guy just exploded, but with no barriers taken, the team is back for Demons RAAAAHH, and a barrier already in their favor as the Firewall Sentry kind of defensive on the top side. Snake trying to push forward. Has a flip available on Kai-Noob and Gumi coming up. Pass splitter providing a lot of pressure, but good clears by the S.A.D.B.O.I.S are making it not easy at all.
Yeah, and Bell's taking quite low. Snake, I'm curious to see if he's going to try to go for this KO onto Bells or not. That is no energy at all onto Bells, but Snake, really tanky, has that spark of resilience here, can live quite a bit longer. Tries to go for the KO off the top, isn't able to find it. Gumi, most likely looking for the strike shot, tries to go for a cyber swipe, comes through, is able to get it with the glitch pop. And now 3v2 power play as Snake has to go back, so even things up a little bit. Use the energy burst, but I think he got caught by the summer assault there and doesn't actually get flipped thanks to Dubu stunning it. And now they managed to take away that defense without having to blow any energy, and actually ends up getting caught. No energy used, and oh my goodness, what a flip from the back corner of the net through the Firewall Sentry. Saves it. Caleb with an insane play there.
Another good summer assault there too, but a little bit awkward. Such a tough spot. It bounced off the bottom of the net, and Kai-Noob would probably have caught it regardless. 2-0 now Demons RAAAAHH, but that's a quip and a half from Yuri Luz. The patience, the perfect flip, and getting it out of the corner. That was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, he did everything he could in that moment, but it wasn't enough, unfortunately, because of the pressure. The creation train is coming through, the path splitter, the Firewall Sentry, everything available on the side of Demons RAAAAHH as they go for the second barrier here. Snake trying to go for that primary onto Vaughn, just apply some pressure. You can also have a lot of knockback if you try to hit someone into the middle, even without them being staggered. Regardless, coming back for the power play, triple bandage comes through, but because it's in that goal line, they managed to get out fast enough before getting hit by the fully formed pillar. And now Firewall Sentry coming through once again. That 30% CDR on it makes it so tough to deal with. Everyone's looking low on the side of S.A.D.B.O.I.S. Bells dropped down to half. Vaughn at least has that stagger swagger to help keep him up in times of need, but will Bells be able to stay alive long enough to get back into this play? And the answer is yes. But things are looking mighty even right now.
Snake trying to change it, but no, it gets back to Bells and Vaughn pushing forward, but Bells is still incredibly low. A good pillar to force the core forwards from Vaughn, as Bells has to watch out. No more meter available. Now the KO target well and truly. The chip damage being poured on as Gumi looks for a snipe. Bells tries to dodge, but picks up an orb, survives for a little longer, and the barriers are down on the side of Demons RAAAAHH, but Snake returns to favor, but Bells keeps the core momentum. I don't think Gumi was expecting that.
Yeah, manages to find it. Kai-Noob not close enough to use an energy burst at all, and then Bells opting not to go for the top corner. Has the awareness to shoot it in between both Gumi and Kai-Noob, giving them their first point of this set number 3 here. They need 2 more if they want to take it advantage to set 4. But a great flip gets the bottom barrier. Firewall Sentry comes out, but the Tofu Fortress paired with the missile propulsion sends Snake into the afterlife. Energy burst of being traded away, kind of looking low, goes for the signature combo on the Ai.Mi, the cyber swipe into the glitch pop, finds the KO. Anomaly comes through, isn't able to get it. Vaughn has to play midfield and defense and forward until Bells can come back here. But the Anomaly just in the wrong spot, isn't able to fully block off the Firewall Sentry, gets it behind the back there as the barrier gets opened up, and now we have to protect an open net. Bells is back though, tries to get the dash punch onto it. Kai-Noob taking the position of goalie for a couple of seconds. Snake goes on to the flip, gets the bounce off the middle, Cyber Swipe, or no, Glitch Pop comes through, isn't able to get it, bounces it over to Snake, right back over to Vaughn, Anomaly set, Pillar drop, Banish comes through, double banish, no barrier drop, flips traded, flips caught. I'm not sure what's happening. Energy burst is available, goes for the third one. This is the Catalyst game, everything's happening. Energy, oh my goodness. I don't know what's happening, Saya.
Yeah, well, what I do know is that Bells is on death's door. That could be a power play opportunity. Kainoob is looking for an opportunity to jump forwards. Bell still without an evade available, but the KO confirms they're not coming through. No abilities are being hit, but the Tofu Fortress at the wrong time fails completely. That's the most broken ability in the game ever since it was first introduced.
And not in the good way.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think the barrier beam from the Asher Snake piloting it pushed it a little bit over to the side while the Tofu Fortress was coming out, causing a weird interaction. Although we should still fix that body if you have time, please, Travis, if you hear me. And the perfect form. Oh my goodness, what a disturbingly weak Ai.Mi build coming through. The extra special, the Timeless Creator paired with the perfect form. We can just cycle. Watch this kickoff, right? Watch for a Cyber Swipe, Glitch Pop, Drop Firewall Sentry, Cyber Swipe, Glitch Pop kickoff. Just within a matter of 10 seconds. It's going to be an absolutely insane thing that that Ai.Mi can do, but thanks to having perfect form and having such a low or so many cooldowns returned from the Awakening.
But this time it's the S.A.D.B.O.I.S who get the better of the exchange at the start. Bells pushing forward, almost gets a shot, forces out the flip from Gumi, and that's a big swing, but the Firewall Sentry's already back. Another one appears, Kainoob flip available, a flip right into Snake's hands, not quite enough, but the goalie's KO, the flip in front of the net, the patience from Snake closes out the first goal of the potential final set here.
Yeah, and taking a look at what everyone else has, Gumi on the rapid fire is walking up more, using that perfect pitch from the midfield line, applying pressure on rebounds and just making sure they block off any other clear angles when you typically have two forwards on one side and then you want the goalie on the other side to make sure that it doesn't just get cleared through for free. And we saw him do that on the last point. One barrier drops, that it's that happy star, the extra special coming through with the Timeless Creator, Firewall Sentry every single point. Anomaly getting the rebound a little bit or blocking off a path to go through. Snake goes for the bounce off the middle, isn't able to find it, but a good set of passes gets it right back over forward. Gumi walking up, holds the drum and bass, but gets KO'd from Bells using the energy burst plus the dash punch combo. You already lose, locked away. Snake unable to find the point. Kainoob has to play goalie for a little bit. He's not, oh my goodness, a rare Kainoob misplay there in the net, isn't able to get it. Banish comes through and no flip used, just ends up, oh my goodness, if Kainoob used the flip there and sent it over to Snake, it would have been a point because Snake got the KO onto Caleb in the back.
That was a really necessary banish. If anything is different there, like you said, that would have been a goal for Demons instead, but instead that flip is taken away in the other way with Bells getting the KO on Kainoob. The power play now from the S.A.D.B.O.I.S continues, and these pillars are such a problem.
Yeah, and we can see how much pressure they're providing and blocking away for the rebounds. The pillar pressure coming through. The second barrier drop. Demons RAAAAHH once again have to protect an open net here. Goes for the Gumi angle. Unfortunately, I shouldn't say that. He goes for not the Gumi angle, manages to get it, sends it straight back down, and there it is. Bells finding the point onto him. This can be leading to a set 5. This is so important for S.A.D.B.O.I.S if they want to win. But they have to take this point right here, right now, go into a set 5. Their chances alive. A KO comes through. The Summer Assault combination with all the other abilities from S.A.D.B.O.I.S finds the KO onto Snake. Asher taken out for another 10 seconds. Bells goes for a little bit of a play onto the top, doesn't find the KO onto anyone, but finds the barrier for his trouble, sneaking it through before. Oh my goodness, you hate to see it.
Yeah, the S.A.D.B.O.I.S off of a series of unfortunate events, unfortunate plays from Demons RAAAAHH. They're the ones who bring it to a set 5, and they got to be confident heading into this one with Vaughn as the first pick.
And you remember what Kainoob took the first time around when he was ruined on Ai.Mi Zap? It's that Among Titans. But honestly, Fight or Flight is still up too, so I think it's between those two, depending on what he wants. Okay, so Fight or Flight is the better deny here in general. You don't want an Asher getting the Fight or Flight. So opts in for that. Most likely no one will be taking the Among Titans. If the Rune doesn't take it or the midfielder doesn't take it, you don't take it on pretty much either the Brawler or the Goalie. That's pretty much a midfielder awakening, but taking a look at everything. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The Super Surge Adubu.
You know what that reminds me of? Remember that Taiko game where B.O.I.S was playing D.A.B.O.I and KO'd the goalie and then scored the goal with the dash range D.A.B.O.I? But unfortunately,
Yes!
this is a goalie D.A.B.O.I and we might see some mishaps because you can't just roll forward on this pick. Dangerous spot, but the pillars are helping so much.
Yeah, and we can see now Rune with extra movement ability thanks to the fight or flight. Rune uses his fight or flight sometimes better than anyone else because of the way the anomalies work. Fight or flight works on any hit, whether being hit or hitting. That means that anomalies are pretty much a ranged strike. And Rune absolutely wants that because he is normally not striking things in mid. Oh my goodness, what a great glitch pop. Forget what I was saying. What a beautiful glitch pop, opening things up, giving Demons RAAAAHH the advantage here. Bandage comes through, Snake taken out for a second. There comes the Path Splitter, doesn't hit anything. We have energy bursts available on so many people here. Kainu and Bells just trying to see if they can use it either offensively. You know, no one wants to use that thing defensively here. We want to be able to score the point, but the last time Kainu didn't use that energy burst, it led to the point being lost, the goal not being scored, and then losing it on the next point.
And Bells on death's door. Not long for this world, and Snake and Kainu fully focused on scoring, with Gumi taking the 1v1. Dangerous spot, but the knockback away maintains a barrier. The KO found a perfect glitch pop to the bottom corner, and Demons RAAAAHH, they're still in the lead.
And that is advantage going over to Demons RAAAAHH. Kainu still has access to that. We might see, I'm not sure if he has Cyber Swipe on kickoff, but if it comes on the bottom, take a look at if a Cyber Swipe into a Firewall Sentry flip play. And there it is. We see the Cyber Swipes, Firewall Sentry, Glitch Pop comes back. He has all those abilities once again because perfect form exists. And now taking a look, bottom barrier gets caught because of the Glitch Pop angle. Kainu walking, standing on the midfield line, has the max souls to make sure that he keeps up his movement speed as much as possible. And we still see him not using the energy burst. It's one of the things where I think Kainu was a little bit too reluctant or too greedy on saving his split for a perfect moment. Takes it there to get the KO, and might get the second KO onto Bells here, but they still have to get through the wall that is D.A.B.O.I with Super Surge.
You already lose. Managing to win all of the strike wars necessary to keep that barrier up, and Vaughn is now back, has the pillar. Gumi almost loses track of the core. That could have been really bad, but the roll goes too far. That wasn't Super Surge. That was just normal D.A.B.O.I things, and that's another goal for Demons RAAAAHH. Just one goal away from closing out this series.
Yeah, what just an unfortunate flip there. I'm not sure if that was a buffered flip because he walked into the Path Splitter. But either way, it cost them the barrier and led to a point very quickly after. 2-0 advantage here. Snake has pretty much Catalyst in any single thing that he does. No, does not get the Catalyst. Uses the elusive a millisecond too early. I actually don't like that pass from Kainu over to Snake. I think he should have went towards the bottom. Gets punished there. Bells has access to that dash punch flip. One of those things with the energy that you have on Catalyst means that Juliet has access to a third ability to chain into the dash punch combo. And that allows for such higher kill pressure. Second barrier gotten. Bandage comes through, Anomaly set up, and I'm surprised that Anomaly was able to fully form there, Saya.
Yeah, and no one was there to cover it. Oh, and it just formed so quickly. Barely got the core through as well. I think it angled the core slightly upward, so it only had to deal with one hit of the Firewall Sentry. But the S.A.D.B.O.I.S are still in it. The 0-2 comfort zone, perhaps, but still a dangerous spot. They do manage to defend the barrier, but the ensnare drums from across the map take it anyway.
Oh, and Snake sitting on top of You Already Lose recognizes that he doesn't have access to much right now. Has to either blow an elusive or sacrifice Stagger if he wants to participate in a brawl with Asher. But no, Snake backs off. Bell's the one who's taking a lot of damage here. Snake sitting right on top of him, trying to force out an elusive from Bell so that you can guarantee a KO after. And you can see the way he's walking up, but no, does not have the damage on the Asher, but that does not matter because while that was happening, the glitch pop gets it around You Already Lose onto the top, barrier open. This could be the final set. It could be match point, series point if Demons RAAAAHH gets this right here.
Snake walking up to the top side, pass lane through to Vaughn though, looking for this barrier, but Gumi has so many resources available, still has a flip, and so does Snake, trying to insta-flip it in. The pillar is enough, but the KO onto the goalie, Kainu, with the dash glitch pop, and now the Firewall Sentry just escorts it in for Kainu to Snake for the goal, for the win for Demons RAAAAHH.
And the Firewall Sentry blocking the entire path. First, the Cyber Swipe glitch pop into the KO onto You Already Lose, who has been the cornerstone defense of Demons RAAAAHH. Yes, Vaughn has been playing goalie as well and is a phenomenal goalie, but without the D.A.B.O.I there to lock it down, without the Super Surge to give you the inspiration, they could not hold it down long enough against all the creations without all the stuffing abilities on the Asher. And that final point went in. Demons RAAAAHH takes this. That means S.A.D.B.O.I.S are now at a 4-4 record, Saya, tied with like 5 other teams in that middle group. And I remember we were talking about this a second before we hopped on, but the tiebreakers do not look good for S.A.D.B.O.I.S.
They do not. The Bozo bunch are there. That is really, really bad for the S.A.D.B.O.I.S. Return to form are there. That is also bad. They have lost to both those teams this season, and their win-loss distribution is not looking quite favorable in those tiebreakers. It's not impossible, though, with a win over Modern Magic. They would put themselves in a great spot, but that will have to be in Week 9.
Oh my goodness, I'm taking a look at these stats right here. 424 redirects, 61,000 damage, almost 62,000 damage here on Kainoob, as he's piloting the Timeless Creator, Extra Special, Perfect Form, Ai.Mi. So much damage coming through. We can see the KOs pretty equal in general, I would say. Well, 10 to 15, 50% more KOs on the side of Demons RAAAAHH, but regardless, that's a lot of KOs, 10 KOs on S.A.D.B.O.I.S end as well. And taking a look at the saves, the amount of pressure that was on S.A.D.B.O.I.S, a collective like 200 saves, over 200 saves needed on S.A.D.B.O.I.S sides, and still ending up losing that game, while Gumi only with 96, collectively a little bit over 100, as they were able to keep the pressure up so much. It was such a pivotal thing. Yes, there is like draft RNG, and it definitely went in favor of Demons RAAAAHH on their first draft, Kainoob getting the first pick, getting access to Extra Special immediately. But these are your outs, right? You could have also gotten the Perfect Form on that first draft or something else as well. But it is just it's frustrating to play against. I know that people don't like playing against the creation starts, but Demons RAAAAHH took advantage of it, managed to ban away the Atlas and take that first pick, Ai.Mi, onto themselves so that they can give it to Kainoob or give it to Gumi, and then they flexed it around really well, right? They make it so that they pick something that they could either put on either position and then locked in the Mako, which Gumi, although a lot of those points slid right through Gumi when he was holding down that drum and bass, overall it did not matter. Demons RAAAAHH take the victory over S.A.D.B.O.I.S.
Yeah, and Demons RAAAAHH, they also don't earn nothing, you know? Like, wasn't only important for the S.A.D.B.O.I.S. Demons RAAAAHH secure winner side heading into playoffs, and that is always a good thing to have. Having that extra chance in the loser's bracket is invaluable, and Demons RAAAAHH join the Cosmic Calamities and Showtime up there guaranteed. There's still a lot of other shakeups that could happen for the 4th through 6th spots, but all will be revealed in the next week of the North American Strikers League. And with that, any words before we head onto a break and then the post show?
No, I mean, I'm excited to see how Week 9 shapes out and to see what that whole mess in the middle is going to turn into with the tiebreakers and going into playoffs. This is going to be a really fun playoff season. So let's see if S.A.D.B.O.I.S storyline can make it so that they get through. I'm on the S.A.D.B.O.I.S roster. I need them to win. Let's go. Let's go, S.A.D.B.O.I.S.
Well, with that, see you soon. Don't go anywhere. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the post show, and I'm here with 3 of the winners from this 8th week of the North American Strikers League Season 5. First off, Leo Leon returned to form. Is chilling in the not chilling, in the very dangerous 4-4 seat. But with a win over Bang Bang, you're now very competitive for playoffs, and next week is a must-win versus the Bozo Bunch. What are your thoughts on that matchup?
I mean, it doesn't matter. We just gotta win. That's all I'm thinking. We just need to win.
Yeah, it's a bit of a familiar matchup too, right?
Yeah.
With Muffin being a former Bozo player.
Yep.
Speaking
Yeah.
more on the current week though, against Bang Bang, 3-0, 3-0 both times. How do you think your team did in that game?
Honestly, pretty good. I know we were. I don't use the word stressing, but I don't think. I think I'm speaking for everyone when I say nobody liked speed meta for the most part, and even the people who did like speed meta were kind of getting tired of it. So when the new patch came out, we're pretty excited to start playing different things. I mean, like guys, I got to kill on Zentaro again consistently for a while. Like there is at least one person missing on the screen some of the time. It's just fun to go back to damage at least a little bit, even though like Mag Souls are still around. But pretty good. We practiced. We got our comps down. We just need to keep playing the game, and hopefully we can slide into playoffs.
And speaking of a team that has indeed slid into playoffs, EKC, Soren, with that huge win over the Cosmic Calamities that didn't feel real until the final goal went in. How do you feel after that one?
Yeah, I mean, I think EKC's back. We had a few rough patches the past few weeks. I think we were on like a 3-game losing streak, but every player on the team really wanted to win this week, and I think it showed. Personally, I think this week has been the hardest I've pushed myself to perform, probably since starting the game. I don't know if you've checked the streams out, but I think while most people say I'm yapping, I'm confident to say I'm within reach of finally being like the best goalie this season. And I know the team, and I personally plan to prove it all by winning it all. Especially if we have a performance like today, we beat Calm, and realistically, I know it looked close. I felt like we felt pretty confident playing into them, and I think if we can continue the progress we've been seeing in the past week or two, actually Vadaviga stuff, I think that we have a really solid chance of winning the season.
Yeah, and next week you're up against Bang Bang. A win there would guarantee you winner's side. Any thoughts going forward?
Um, yeah, I mean, I'm blessed. Like we are definitely, at least on paper, are fighting one of the lower seeded teams right now. I know the record's pretty rough. I know it's gonna suck too because Josh is kind of like our impromptu coach right now. So it's gonna be weird playing against him when he's been watching a lot of our scrims and stuff and knowing how we're playing. I think we're confident, obviously, fighting into them. We've played against them before and feel pretty chill. Ironically enough, they were the team that gate kept us for playoffs last season, so it'll be nice to get some payback going into that match next week.
All right, and Gumi, we just saw you versus the S.A.D.B.O.I.S. Had some Gumi angles, but most of it was a performance that's worthy of being called the best goalie in the league. Any thoughts on that matchup today?
Obviously, like every match we play against S.A.D.B.O.I.S is so fun. Like we literally all had so much fun. We were like full sweating. I took like a month break from caffeine, and I like popped 300 milligrams of caffeine today. I was stimming a bit, but yeah, we were calming like crazy. Like we were genuinely calming so much, calming our cooldowns, calming where we were playing. We were trying really hard, and I think we're playing right now some of the best Omega Strikers we've ever played. I think right now, like at this current moment in time, we're the best team in the game, and it's not close at all. I think we would completely smoke anyone that we play against, and we haven't really been challenged in a while, except for that last game against S.A.D.B.O.I.S. But I mean, exclamation mark Canada, it is what it is. And coming up into this next week, S.A.D.B.O.I.S and Demons are taking on a mission to train up Bang Bang. If you take a look in the rules channel of Westgord, we got a whole training plan planned out for them so that they can take out EKC. But yeah.
Yeah, and looking forward into next week. You've had a banger matchup versus the S.A.D.B.O.I.S. Next, you're up against Showtime for the final week. And you're both sitting at 6-2. This is a chance, of course, to leapfrog them to second place in the standings. Any thoughts going into that?
I mean, fraud time. Let's be clear. Shit's light.
All right. Well, let's go into some shout outs. Leo, any shout outs, anything you want to say?
Shout out my cat for not scratching me during this end of NASL run, because she's had good opportunities to come and swipe me, but she's getting distracted over there with something. Yeah, shout outs to her.
All
And my
right.
team, obviously.
Okay. Well, bit of an afterthought, your team, I guess.
Dude, this
Unfortunately.
cat's been swiping at me, bro. Like, this is a concern. She's gonna make me use flip by accident.
All right, Soren, anything you want to say? Any shout outs?
Yeah, I mean, shout out to all the EK supporters today, especially the Lakeland Bros who are there every week. I know we had a lot of fans in chat today, and it felt really nice. Kept the morale up, being able to check Twitch chat and to see everyone there popping off for us. Josh specifically for being a huge EKC fan. He's probably like our #1 fan behind the scenes and coaching us on the side. Even when he was literally 5 feet away from our competition today. He was like DMing our players notes and stuff that actually gave them confidence because like I can only say so much to them. But yeah, shout out. I'm getting some free food from my friend Damon for winning. Nitech, shout out for having to be nice to me for the rest of the season. It's gonna be nice seeing you have to like gas me up. And yeah, shout out to the OS community. I'm glad that even though it felt like for a few weeks everyone was kind of like dropped off the face of the earth with holidays, I've been seeing Q's pretty active, like even really late tonight. And this community is so cool. And glad I kind of reignited my love for the game after being gone for like a month.
All right, and finally, Gumi, any shout outs, anything you want to say before we end?
I just want to say a shout out to my teammates, honestly. Like, with the season starting and our terrible start, and me not really playing the game and being absent for a few of our matches, and just in general, it wasn't looking good. And we all like sat down and had a talk, and we all agreed to really sweat out the season. And we've scrimmed. No one's complained about scrimming. We've been playing the game a bunch, and I feel like we're all playing really well right now. So shout out to my team for all of us locking in and playing some damn good Omega Strikers. And shout out to the TOs because this Omega Strikers game is so fun to compete in. So thank you guys.
All right. Well, with that, thank you for watching another week of North American Strikers League. Next week is our final week. Then we head into playoffs. Don't miss NASA tomorrow. And all of you listening, I know most of you have not actually signed up on StartGG for the LAN. So sign up, please. We need like numbers that aren't just a text file that 3Z has on stream. Anyway, thanks everyone. Goodbye. See you tomorrow.
Bye.